unglaubliche Ehre und Überraschung, dass heute Jonas Mekas anwesend ist, der bedeutendste lebende Autorenfilmer meiner Meinung nach und einer der Pioniere in der Vermittlung des Avantgarde-Films weltweit. Möglicherweise hätten wir den Avantgarde-Film nicht in der Weise, wie wir ihn haben. Rein physisch, weil Jonas Mekas hat mit dem Anthology Film Archive das größte Archiv des Experimental- oder Avantgarde-Films weltweit gegründet und betreibt es bis heute. 92 Jahre alt, der ist gerade auf Reisen in Deutschland und wir haben ein unglaubliches Glück, dass er heute hier ist. Jonas Mekas, ladies and gentlemen.
First, you will forgive me that I will be speaking in English or American English. I'm here by pure chance, accident, that I had to be for a different reason. That is to present a book that Spectre Books just brought out, and you saw copies there at the desk. So he has one.
It's brand new. I just bought it, actually.
And also by accident, by chance, there is a piece on Joseph Cornell on it.
It's not by chance, because it's a very important piece.
By chance, in connection with this place, this occasion here now. It's some writings from the 60s to the 70s, but not on cinema, primarily on other arts, dance, music, performance arts, etc., etc., with a large section on mixed media, expanded cinema, but not just directly pure cinema. It's all the other possibilities of cinema. So, but here we are Joseph Cornell.
May I ask you something?
Yes.
Of course, you knew Joseph Cornell personally, and actually, at one moment in time, he gave you his unedited films and his finished films in...
Yeah, I can tell something about
Yes.
it, yes. Because you are seeing, you have a good choice between the three programs. When Cornell sort of dumped on Anthology Film Archives about 100 cans, actually it was about like 110 cans, and I had to go through all of them, and there were different categories. Some, it was very clear that they were finished films with titles, and some had sound, and they were, one could say that they were clearly completed films. And they have, some of them Cornell had even shown like during the previous years as finished films. Then there was another category that it looked like they were finished, but many of them, most of them had no titles, but on the can something was written like referring that it could be a title. So I entered those scribbles as titles. Then we came to another group which looked like they're totally unfinished, like just material that he bought in various shops, places, flea markets, and the materials maybe he was planning to use, do something with it. But then when I looked I looked at, and it looked like just some old movie. Then why did he, there was some scribble on the can, so I have to look again. After 2, 3 more careful viewings, I realized that he had changed something that I did not realize during the first viewing, that he already did something to it, and that changed the meaning of the film completely. So, and then of course there are totally films which you don't know the reason at all And so we have all that, those different like categories. But it's not different when you went into Cornell's studio. He had this little room, like on the ground floor. He received guests. Always there was a little table with cookies and tea, very gentle, very polite, and very, he was a really polite gentleman, artist. And then you go to the basement level, and you could see the same, like 100 pieces there, and they're in different stages of growing, of coming into existence. All those boxes. He did not work on one box or on two or on three. He worked on the whole place was full of works in progress, like some living little things coming slowly in very subtle ways, and you never know. He never knew when he will find something in the street, in the garbage box somewhere, something that he suddenly, this piece belongs there, in that piece. And he picks up and he puts in that piece, and so it goes. So that's how he worked. That was the process. So that one has to take finished and unfinished works like part of the family, this cinema work, with very open ends. And nothing very important happens even to those films that he actually filmed on locations, and used his friends as cameramen, but he chose also very carefully those locations, and later he very carefully changed that footage that seemed just like very simple, like a park scene. There are some trees, some maybe birds, and just by introducing maybe a title, a line from a poetry, he totally changed, made it very, very personal, very, very, very personal. You will, I don't know, you will see, I think, in some of the films, or you have seen those inserts, and actually those lines very often were tests for friends. He was testing very often those who came to visit, and really, I would have failed, but I was saved by my friend Piadam Sidney once when we went to visit Cornell, and Cornell in the middle of conversation recited one line of poem, and he looks at us, stares. You're supposed to guess where that line is from. Fortunately, Piadam Sidney knew it was Lorca. And oh, good, you're okay. Then conversation continued further. He played little light jokes like that. There was very personal kind of humor. I received, one example, I received a letter from Cornell. It's sealed. Usually in the back of the envelope, when you seal that flap, there is triangle kind of piece that flaps and seals the envelope in the back. And at the point where it, at the tip of that flap, he put some little red bird sticker, the bird. And if you want really to open, when you open, of course, the neck of the bird will break. And I did it, and then bird, who cares? I opened the neck of the bird, breaks, you open the flap, and what do I see? There is another little bird, totally completely with necks and with behind the one that I broke. And I can see him smiling, same as I was smiling when I saw that he played a joke on me.
Did he talk a lot about films that he
Yes.
saw? Did you talk with him about movies?
He loved Hollywood movies, and he loved stars, certain stars that he was very much in love. And he liked very much dance and ballet. He attended, he liked dancers. And actually he was so much, when he got attached to some star of some movies, he saw all the movies with that star. And okay, here is another little Cornell anecdote. Cornell did not go to gallery openings. He went to ballet openings, but not art situations. So the opening night of Anthology Film Archives, we had a little party, and we invited Cornell, and everybody said, no, he won't come, he doesn't go anyway. But he came to Anthology Film Archives because he loved us. And then he sat down next to, or the other guy said, was Parker Tyler, who he was a quite well-known art, not a critic, but he wrote on art. He had several, he did a book on Chelichev, and he liked Cornell's work. And at some point, Cornell gave him as a present one of his boxes. So there they sit and they converse. And suddenly, I was not next to them, I was a little bit further, but one of my friends, Sidney, was sitting next to them. And suddenly I see that there's some kind of argument going between Parker Tyler and Cornell. And what happened was that at some point, Cornell turns to Parker Tyler and says, I gave you this. He spoke very slowly. I gave you, remember, I gave you the box. Could I have it back, Parker? So Parker said, no, what do you mean? You gave it to me, no. And Cornell says, yes, but you didn't see the strings attached to it. And what happened there further was that he just had read that Parker Tyler, just a week or two earlier, had written something that Cornell perceived as not right, a little bit negative about one of his favorite film stars. And that was enough to ask for the box back.
Do you think
so we can, talk, but I think you should see the films, and yes. I will be back at the end.
It's so great to know that you will be back and talk about the films later. Thank you so much, and yes, we will enjoy the film.
I think you should see the film.